Hello, everybody. It's that college football guy here. Another video. It's the Saturday college football update. Hopefully, this thing uploads in time. Um, Yesterday, I said you saw me driving. Yesterday's video I had to get that done. I was running around like crazy. Sunday will be a little bit easier. I'll be able to actually do my top 25 before I leave, which is going to be nice. And Monday, I'll do the subscriber ranking because I don't have to leave until later in the afternoon. Because I normally, those of you who don't know, as you leave for work, truck driving, usually Sunday morning. Well, because of about, what did they say, over a dozen loads being pushed back, not because of lack of trucks to pick it up, but suppliers. Everybody needs a piece from something else to build something. You go to a place that manufactures Band-Aids, but you may have 16 different companies bringing in pieces into that facility to make the Band-Aid. And if one or two doesn't show up, you can't produce. Well, apparently some of the trucks that are supposed to produce the parts for whatever load it was didn't show up. So, for a lot of the loads. So they sent me on something else, which technically delivers Tuesday morning. But I can leave Sunday to get there because where it's at in Virginia, traffic can be very bad. If you try to do it in one day, you won't make it if traffic's anywhere near bad. So they advised me to leave Sunday, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe a little earlier. Make sure you get 4 hours of driving in. Now, if things go to hell, because it normally takes 14 hours if it goes bad, at least you can make it there in another day and you'll make it on time. So, things that happen, right? All right, but the Saturday college football update, we're going to go through the predictions for the Saturday games. Now, I touched on this earlier, I think it was last week, about the teams that made bowl games. I congratulated teams. Well, here's the teams so far. I haven't mentioned any of them. I've got the list. I'm keeping this list up to date as to who's done what for bowl eligibility. But teams who are bowl eligible as of now. Liberty, James Madison, Penn State, Ohio State, who play each other, Oklahoma, Air Force, Alabama, Missouri, Iowa, Toledo, Miami of Ohio, North Carolina, Michigan, Florida State, USC, Washington, Georgia, Louisville, Notre Dame, Fresno State, and Oregon State. And thanks to a victory earlier this week, Jacksonville State, who I mentioned, they're in their first week in first season ever in FBS. They're bowl eligible in their first ever year, so congratulations to them. Now the predictions for the games. We're going to try to crank these out pretty quick here. All right. Top of the list Saturday game. Number 7 Penn State 6-0 versus number 3 Ohio State 6-0. Ohio State is the point spreads vary. I'm doing an amalgamate. I usually use the Vegas Insiders for my point spreads, but sometimes theirs varies too. So basically kind of here and there, but basically about averages out to about a 4.5 point favorite for Ohio State. Ohio State has had their injuries. Penn State has their injuries and problems. I look at this, and a lot of people are saying Ohio State's going to blow out Penn State by 30. Those people never watch Penn State play a game. That defense is something else. They are going to beat up Ohio State. Ohio State's going to beat up Penn State. Two subscriber schools going head-to-head. I made my prediction at the beginning of the year, and I'm not backing off of it. I'm picking Penn State to beat Ohio State. Straight up. No other point spread. Penn State will beat Ohio State. That's my prediction. 3-3 UCF at subscriber school, and number 6 Oklahoma, who's 6-0. Oklahoma's a 17-point favorite. UCF, unfortunately, they're still trying to figure things out. First season in the Power 5. They said, they're going to win their way and win 8 games. No, they're not. And unfortunately for them, you're not going to win this game against Oklahoma. So I'm going to pick Oklahoma to win the game and cover that 17-point spread. Number 22 Air Force at Navy. Air Force is 6-0. Navy's 3-3. Air Force is a 10-point road favorite. Air Force's starting QB, I believe, is out. And with Navy playing the same kind of game also Air Force does, this is going to be back and forth. The insiders, they're saying Air Force is going to win but not cover. Problem is they run the ball. I'm going to pick Air Force to win and cover that 10-point spread. All right. Battle of the 2-4s. 2-4 Baylor at 2-4 Cincinnati. Both subscriber schools. Cincinnati's a 3-point home favorite, which basically makes this game a pick'em. I know Scotty B, the Baylor King, is going to weigh in on the comments section on this one. Baylor, Shapen's playing is a different team. Bottom line, he's playing. They're a different team, and even without that, This is Cincinnati's first year. Baylor on the road. I'm picking Baylor to win this game. Subscriber School Memphis, who's 4-2 at 2-5 UAB. Memphis is a 7.5-point road favorite. UAB under first-year head coach Trent Dilfer trying to figure things out. Memphis is going things along. I think they win this game and cover that point spread. They just have too much firepower. 1-5 Charlotte at Subscriber School. East Carolina, who's also 1-5. East Carolina's a 5.5-point home favorite. East Carolina has had a miserable season. East Carolina fans will admit that it's hasn't worked out as well as it happened. There's going to be a complete reevaluation of the entire program from top to bottom. But don't fret about this week. You're winning this game, and you're going to cover the 5.5. I'm picking East Carolina to win. All right, 4-2 Washington State at Subscriber School, and number 9 Oregon, who's 5-1. Oregon is a 19.5-point favorite. Oregon just has too much firepower and way too much defense for Washington State, but Washington State has a tendency to keep games close. I'm going to say Oregon's going to win the game, but that 19.5 is just too rich for me. They're not going to cover. Then we get to this game. Number 17, Tennessee, who's 5-1. It's my school at number 11, Alabama, who's 6-1. Alabama's an 8.5-point favorite. Some places it's dropped. Excuse me. Some places dropped down to 6.5. Some as high as 11. What do you think is going to happen in this game? Tennessee and Joe Milton has to play the best game he's played all year. For them to have a shot, Joe Milton has to play well. And based on what I'm seeing, I don't trust that. Tennessee is one of the best rushing teams in the country, and they're going to have fun on there. But Alabama on there. Alabama's out for revenge, and it's in Tuscaloosa, and that gives them at least 5 points. So I would pick Alabama to win of my balls, but I don't think they're going to cover. I think it's going to be a field goal game, and I think I'll tell you exactly how this game's going to go. It's going to be like, say, 4 and change, like 4-12, 4-14, something like that, right? Left in the fourth quarter. Alabama up by 10. Tennessee's going to score a touchdown to get on a drive, score a touchdown with about less than a minute left. Go for the onside kick and not get it. Close, but not close enough. I think that's how this game's going to end. But I'm picking Alabama to win and not cover. 2-4 South Carolina at number 20 Missouri, who's 6-1. Missouri's a 7-point favorite. South Carolina is kind of rattled a little bit right now. Missouri is on a run. I'm picking Missouri to win and cover. Here's a game that the insiders and I disagree on. 3-3 Minnesota Subscriber School at number 24 Iowa, who's 6-1, who's a 3.5-point home favorite, which basically means this is almost a pick 'em. Excuse me. I was debating on this game to go back and forth, and Iowa's shown they can do some stuff. Then I found out that Cade McNamara is not playing. At least that was at the time of this recording. So I'm going against the insiders and against the books. I'm picking Minnesota to win this outright. Subscriber School and 3-3 Northwestern at Nebraska, who's also 3-3. Nebraska's a 10.5-point favorite. Northwestern, unfortunately, is having their issues. Nebraska, this is a game that they desperately need, and I think they're going to get it at home and beat Northwestern and cover the 10.5, but barely. Subscriber School, South Florida, who's 3-4. 2.5-point road favorites against UConn, who's 1-5. South Florida's having issues right now. I have ignored my gut on predictions, and my gut has told me things, and I ignored it and ate it almost every time. So my gut's telling me one simple thing. UConn's winning this game at home. My field goal, when UConn's winning at home, they're going to upset South Florida. Oklahoma State, Subscriber School, 4-2 at West Virginia, Subscriber School, also 4-2. West Virginia is a 3-point home favorite. Basically means a pick 'em. Oklahoma State has become a better team. West Virginia at home. This game is basically is for pick 'em for me. And basically comes down to this. If this would have been in Stillwater, it'd be Oklahoma State. But since this is on them country roads in West Virginia, I'm picking the Mountaineers, the BVU, to win this game. This one's going to be a dogfight, folks, so it's going to be a great game to watch. Subscriber School, number 8, Texas, 5-1 at Subscriber School, Houston, who's 3-3. Texas is a 24-point road favorite. Houston's a good team, but Texas just has way too much firepower. I'm picking Texas to win and cover the 24. Subscriber school Toledo at 6-1 at Miami, of Ohio, who's also 6-1. Toledo is a 3-point road favorite. This is the toughest test Toledo probably is going to have all year. This is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a tough game, but I'm picking Toledo to win at the end and cover. 1-5 Virginia at number 10 and subscriber school North Carolina, who's 6-0. North Carolina's a 22.5-point favorite. Virginia cannot find any offense. North Carolina's got Drake May. I don't need to say anything else. North Carolina's going to win that game and cover the 22.5. Number 13, Ole Miss, who's 5-1 at Auburn, who's 3-3. Ole Miss is a 7.5-point favorite. Auburn's going to have to get involved in this, but I think Ole Miss just has too much firepower for Auburn. I'm picking Ole Miss to win and cover the spread. 3-4 at subscriber school Texas Tech at 4-2 BYU. Texas Tech is a 3.5-point road favorite. There's some people, the insiders, had BYU winning this game. I'm not one of them. Texas Tech has got something to prove. You don't win this game, this is a problem with the program. You have to win this. So I'm picking Texas Tech to win and cover the 3.5. Excuse me. 4-3 TCU at subscriber school Kansas State, who's 4-2. Kansas State's a 6.5-point favorite. TCU is not the team they were last year. Kansas State is starting to get it clicking right now. I'm picking Kansas State to win and cover the 6.5. Then we get the one that it still boggles my mind. 3-3 Colorado State at 5-1 UNLV. UNLV is a 7.5-point home favorite. I had UNLV going 5-7. Maybe it was 6-6. Colorado State on there. UNLV, except for the Michigan game, which apparently now was sign stealing. The only game that UNLV did not score 40 points in was the Michigan game, when they only scored 7. I wonder. Makes things a little more interesting, doesn't it? You score 40 on everybody else, you only score 7 on Michigan. Well, Michigan had better talent. Yeah. Now with the sign stealing allegations? But anyway, Colorado State doesn't have the offense to compete with UNLV. UNLV still averaging 4. If you take the Michigan game out, they're averaging over 40 points a game. I think they're going to get the win. They're going to blow them out and win and cover the 7.5. Speaking of the Sign Stealers Incorporated, subscriber school Michigan, 7-0, number 2 in the country, and Michigan State 2-4. Michigan's a 23.5-point favorite. I don't give a damn about the sign stealing scandal. I don't give a damn about anything else, or the background noise, or Jim Harbaugh. That's background. The fight in the tunnel from last year is still in their minds. Michigan is not going to win this game. They want to step on Michigan State's throat. They are going to run the score up. So this 23.5 might be 43.5, might be more accurate, because they are going to be out to send a message. Don't ever do that again. So I'm expecting a completely and utter dominant performance by Michigan to cover the 23.5. Number 16, Duke, 5-1 at number 4, Florida State, who's 6-2. Florida State's a 13.5-point favorite. Duke has their things, but Florida State just has too much firepower. I'm picking Florida State to win and cover the 13.5. 2-4 Army at number 19 LSU, who's 5-2. LSU is a 32.5-point favorite. I'm thinking this is just too much. Then I looked at Army's offense and I'm like, you don't have any. I'm picking LSU to win and cover 32.5. That's crazy for me picking someone to cover spread that big, but I am. All right. Here's one of the games, surprisingly, that the insiders and I agree on. Number 14, Utah, 5-1 at number 18 in subscriber school, USC, who's 6-1. USC, I should say, 6-1, and there's USC is a 6.5-point home favorite. You have all the thing on there. Caleb Williams a little rattled, wants to come back and prove something, but he plays a defense that is good. He has problems. Even with all the problems Utah has, I'm going with the insiders. I'm picking Utah to upset USC. Nevada, 0-6, one of only 2 teams in the country have not won a game besides Sam Houston State. At subscriber school, San Diego State, who's 3-4. San Diego State's a 12.5-point favorite. Nevada can't figure out how to score. It's just absolutely horrible. San Diego State will win this and cover the 12.5 easy. 1-5 Arizona State at Subscriber School. Number 5 Washington, who's 6-0. Washington's a 27.5-point favorite. Arizona State can't score. Washington, Michael Penix is Michael Penix. Forget it. But the offense, running the ball, they're just an incredible team. They showed that when they played Oregon. They're going to win and cover the 27.5 easily. And last game, number 25 UCLA, who's 4-2. Subscriber School at another Subscriber School, and 2-4 Stanford. UCLA is a 17.5-point favorite. I almost said Stanford was the favorite, but no. UCLA is a 79-point favorite. Stanford's coming off of the biggest high in the world, and UCLA is going to bring them crashing back down to reality. UCLA is going to win this game and cover the 17.5. Now, here's the little thing here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams who can actually become bowl eligible this weekend, today, with a win. Rutgers, if they beat Indiana, can win their 6th game. Rutgers is a 5.5-point favorite. Ohio from the MAC can be bowl eligible if they beat Western Michigan. Ohio's a 17-point favorite. Oregon, the Ducks, can be bowl eligible if they beat Washington State. Oregon's a 19.5-point favorite. Tennessee, if they beat Alabama, will become bowl eligible, but Alabama is an 8.5-point favorite. Texas will be bowl eligible if they beat Houston. Texas is a 24-point favorite. Ole Miss will be bowl eligible if they beat Auburn. Ole Miss is a 7.5-point favorite. UNLV will be bowl eligible if they beat Colorado State. Makes them UNLV is a 7.5-point favorite. Duke will be bowl eligible if they beat Florida State, but Florida State's a 13.5-point favorite. Utah will be bowl eligible if they beat USC, but USC's a 6.5-point favorite. Georgia State could be bowl eligible. Georgia State has been one of the worst teams in FBS, but hey, they could be bowl eligible if they beat Louisiana, but Louisiana's a 3-point favorite. So it'll be interesting to see if we have more teams added to the list of teams that are bowl eligible. I try doing this one so I can try to, in my own mind, figure out who's going to do what and where for bowl games. So, let you know your thoughts about everything down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching the video. Like I said, once the games get done here today, I'm going to do my top 25 tomorrow. Be early in the morning, so I can get some things done. And then since I'll be done Monday, I'm going to do the subscriber top 25. Since we're going to be on an odd week, it'll be week 9 next time up for the subscriber schools. Week 9 for subscriber rankings. So that'll be coming up. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Any interaction you do with the video is greatly appreciated. So like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of it. Thanks everybody for watching. We have some great college football today. If there's anything crazy that happens, like there's some upsets here that could potentially happen here that will absolutely laugh my butt off. One of them being if Michigan State beats Michigan. I don't see any world in it happening, but then again, I didn't see Stanford beating USC either. You never know in college football. Anything can happen any given Saturday. So thanks everybody for watching. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.